J-Mac Sports 24/7. I am J-Mac. Thank you for coming to the channel. If this is your first time coming to this channel, please smash the like button. Share, subscribe. But by all means, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Before we get to the Cowboys, I'd like to say something about the game last night. The Houston Astros beat the Phillies 5-0. They tied it up 2-2. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I think I will root for the Astros because of Dusty Baker. I'm a Dusty Baker fan. Dusty Baker used to be the manager of my favorite baseball team, the Cincinnati Reds. To this day, I don't know why Dusty Baker is still not the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. But I will root for the Astros because of that reason. And I just don't want to see Philadelphia, with the possibility of having two parades. But I have nothing really against the Phillies. It's more against the Philadelphia Eagles that I have my beef with. More so with the fans. I guess the team is okay and the organization is okay these days. Back in the day, in the 80s, I despised the organization, especially their coach. But right now, I guess the team is okay. It's just that the fans, we irk the fans, they irk me. So I will root for them. But Astros threw a combined no-hitter against the Phillies last night. I think that's the first time ever in the history of Major League Baseball, a World Series, I should say. So I will root for them and hope they do well. And I'm told what's on the streets, the word on the streets, if it gets to 7 games, then it's pretty much for the Astros to lose. That Phillies may not be equipped to withstand a 7-game series at the 7th game. NBA right quick. My Lakers won. The Los Angeles Lakers, the former world champion Lakers, won their second straight game last night. We beat the New Orleans Pelicans. It's the second straight. Beat them 120-117 in overtime. LeBron James, who's, I guess, to some is the GOAT, which not to me, went 0 for 7 from three-point line last night. LeBron James from three-point line is shooting 22.6% of the season from 3 points. I'm one, and are those that agree that LeBron should be taking the game to the rim. He's 6'9". What, about 230, 240? He's 6'9". Why not go and get a high percentage shot? I mean, the game was going back and forth with the Lakers and the Pelicans. And then obviously it went overtime. But, in regulation, I pretty much turned the channel because the Pelicans got ahead. Because LeBron James, not once, not twice, but 3 times, he comes down, get to half court. The offense is spread out. Plenty of time on the clock, and LeBron James decided to shoot a three-pointer. All 3 times, clink. Why not shoot a high percentage shot when you got Anthony Davis on your team? We have Anthony Davis. I mean, if you're a point guard, you have Anthony Davis on your team, and you need a high percentage shot, and you're already in the game that's going back and forth, and regulation is winding down. Sure enough, on I guess the second or third shot, the Lakers miss, Pelicans get the ball, and then they go down, and then they go up 1. And then it's pretty much stayed that way. So I just turned the channel. But then being on another channel, I got notification on my TV that the Lakers was tied. Like, wait a minute, and it was OT. I don't know how it happened. I still had not seen the replay. But then I turned the game back on. And we won the game. So I'm really happy about that. But I'm old school. Magic Johnson would have threw that ball into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Case closed. Would have threw it into him. But I guess LeBron James wants to be Michael Jordan. He wants to be able to do it from the perimeter. Well, Mike can do it from the perimeter, and he can take it through the paint. Mike is going to get that high percentage shot. But that's just me. I'm old school. Larry Bird would have threw it into, McHale. It would have happened that way. So I'm glad the Lakers won. I wonder if they have everything. Have they figured it out yet? I don't think so. I'm not an NBA guy. I got to get to learn the players all over again. And I think doing this channel is going to allow that to happen. So, but I'm happy that the college basketball is next week. So that's my thing. Before we get to the Cowboys, there's one thing I'd like to talk about right quickly, and that is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is in the news again. Actually, Kyrie Irving stays in the news. I shouldn't even say again. He stays in the news. Kyrie Irving is a former Duke player. Dookie. He's a former Dookie. Playing now for the New Jersey Nets. So, as I alluded to, I don't really follow NBA basketball as I did, 10 years ago. So I try to catch, some current events, what's going on. But again, as I alluded to, as I'm doing this channel, I'm going to get to watch the NBA more and, learn the players, learn their styles, learn the different teams, how they're playing, the coaches, and so forth. Anyhow, Kyrie Irving and New Jersey Nets both pledged $5,000 each to the Anti-Defamation League. I guess you all know where I'm going with this. Reports are he sent a proxy to speak against anti-Semitism. Our own anti-Semitism. Kyrie's support of a controversial movie based on a book on anti-Semitic disinformation. Kyrie is receiving a lot of flack on his views of anti-Semitism, with this movie being the latest. So much flack and tension that Kyrie had to put out this statement. And you tell me he did this against, from his heart, or was he pretty much pushing to this? I'm going to read a quote from Kyrie Irving. I oppose all forms of hatred and oppression and stand strong with communities that are marginalized and impacted every day. I'm aware of the negative impact of my posts towards the Jewish community, and I take responsibility. I do not believe everything said in the documentary was true or reflects my morals and principles. I am a human being, learning from all walks of life, and I tend to do so with an open mind and a willingness to listen. So, for my family and I, we meant no harm to anyone, group, race, religion, of people, and wish only to be a beacon of truth and light. And that was a quote from Kyrie Irving. My belief is that, when he getting all this this negativity, first of all, the New Jersey Nets should have suspended him right away. But when the player brings you money, moolah, but New Jersey didn't discipline him. So my belief is that the New Jersey Nets, and I guess they had someone to write a statement for Kyrie, and Kyrie read that to okay with it, to confirm, okay, you can submit that. And that's what happened. Because Kyrie actually sent someone on his behalf, a proxy, to speak on anti-Semitism. So if you were really serious about what you was doing, you would have personally attended that meeting yourself. That's Kyrie Irving. I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan. I wasn't a fan because he played for Duke. I'm not a Duke fan. I'm not a Duke player fan. But that's what happens when you play for Duke. I don't know. I'm just kidding there. But on a serious note, Kyrie needs some help. That other guy, that rapper dude, who's married to one of those Kardashian chicks, he needs help. I mean, they got some mental issues. On a serious note. Now I got that out the way. Is the Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl ready team? As of today, the 3rd of November, 2022, Thursday, are the Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl ready team?
I will tell you what, like when you look at the weaknesses in the matchup, I mean, you think this game wasn't a blowout even with Cooper Rush starting for the Cowboys. But the Cowboys match up well against the Eagles. The Eagles have to win the game through the run game when they're playing the Cowboys. They don't want to sit around and air it out because of the pressure that the Cowboys. The best two situations that happened for the Cowboys was Kellen Moore State and Dan Quinn State. Like, these two guys have done excellent jobs as coordinators on both sides of football, and whichever piece or part needed to play their part, they've done it. They have done a fantastic job. This is a Super Bowl caliber football team. And listen, they are the number 2 team in the NFC, and they are on the heels of the Eagles. And I get they lost one with Rush, and they lost the first game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This Cowboy football team is absolutely legitimate, and they're good at – they got better when Dak was out. Their offensive line got better, even with Tyron Smith leaving. Tyler Smith steps in. He comes in. They have become a forward-pressing offensive line. Their receivers, CeeDee Lamb has become the guy they expected him to do. They developed other receivers, and Brown, hopefully Gallup comes back and, gets back to the level they want him. But you look around, tight end, every position, they are lined up and playing well. You have to be excited if you're a Cowboy fan because they have all systems go, and Dak is now being added to that. That's a scary endeavor.
Before we go to break, could you really see the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl? Because that would make my life. And I'm a Giants fan, but it would make my life just because it would torture him so badly.
Absolutely, and I've been saying it every single week, Molly. As you know, I come on the show. They are a Super Bowl ready team. Now, whether or not they get there, that's something else. But they are a Super Bowl ready team. Like they said, every level, they got something good. Every single level. Yeah. Even to the point where you look on the sidelines now and you're not questioning Mike McCarthy. You're not like, oh, God, he's getting ready to do something silly. You're like comfortable. You're happy with it. And Dak Prescott has made 3 or 4 throws every game that he's come back that Cooper Rush wasn't making. You can tell that this is a different team than it was in the past. It's something different about this football team. Now, the moment that I say that, they might go on a losing streak. I don't know. But as of right now, they're a very good football team.
Yeah, and Philly's favored every game the rest of the way, except when they face the Cowboys. But that was
Yeah. We are a ready Super Bowl team. That's my opinion. I think we're ready for the Super Bowl, but we need to. Well, the deadline is passed. The trade deadline is gone. So I wanted a receiver. We're not going to get that receiver. The trade deadline came and went, and Jerry and his son were left holding their manhood in their hands. As simple as that. We won't get anyone on offense. But I honestly believe we need a receiver. I'm still, upset that we lost Amari Cooper for a 5th-round draft pick. That's what we got. Our Cowboys are good, but they could definitely improve. We have an average of 22.9 points per game, which is in the middle of the road. And then that's going to get better because Dak is back, and Dak had 2 full games already. So I do see productivity on offense really, really getting better. So that 22.9 points is going to get close to 30 points, if probably not, 33 points per game. So that's going to go up. We are 15th in net yards per passing attempt and 14th in yards per rushing attempt. We're very good, but definitely not elite at anything on the defensive side of the ball. Some of those numbers, of course, are influenced by the fact that we had a backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, over the last month. My understanding is before the draft deadline closed, we was close to signing Barden Cooks from the Houston Texans. Last season, Cooks had 90 receptions, 1,037 yards, averaging 11 yards per catch, and 6 TDs. The thing is, I believe that that trade up, that he turns 29. He turned 29 this past September. Barden's, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Barden Cooks. His physical measurements are 5'10", 185 pounds. However, he was clocked, his 40 time was 4.33. That's fast. Is that like Michael Parsons fast? Per Football Focus. And per Football Focus, he's ranked 61st. He's the 61st best receiver in the National Football League. With CeeDee Lamb, Football Focus has CeeDee Lamb at number 14, ranked. Now, according to multiple sources, a deal for a trade was imminent, but it dissipated right before the deadline closed. So what happened? Why did Jerry and his son get caught holding on to themselves? And I think the big reason is this: Dak Prescott. To elaborate, $49 million. Dak Prescott will be guaranteed next year, 2023, $49 million to hit the salary cap. Now, Brandon again, Brandon, he's guaranteed $18 million next season. So that would be a big hit for our salary cap. And I'm pretty sure he and his son could have found, Jerry Jr. could have found a Stephen Jones, could have found their way to finagle the salary cap somehow to keep Dak and obtain Cooks. But I really think it was the age. The Cowboys could have found a way to eat that. But it was too pricey for a second round draft pick, and that's what they was been asked. The Cowboys have been asked to give up a second round draft pick. But however, let's say that Cooks was 25 or 26 years old. I really think Jerry and Steven would have made that deal. We would have got him, because 25, 26 is a lot farther away from 30 than 29. And it is noted the Cowboys, as I said, does not have a lot of cap room to mess around with next season. We know Micah Gallup tore his ACL this past January, and that made a really big difference or significance in his return to live action. And he just have 12 catches in 5 games. Noah Brown, on the other hand, has 25 catches and 339 yards. And really hasn't been somewhat of a pleasant surprise. But he's no number 2 receiver. Then there's third round draft pick Jalen Tolbert, who has been missing in action. And for whatever reason why he's not getting the opportunities to see what he's able to do, maybe because he has not really shown it in practice. But for me personally, I expect a lot from a third round draft pick. I really do. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, it's another story. The boys' defense is ranked number 2 in the National Football League, allowing the third fewest passing yards and fourth fewest rushing touchdowns the last time I read this, so it could have changed. But the Filthy Eagles, what I've read, was ranked 3rd as far as defense. As we all know, our defensive standout is Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs. They get most of the jabber in the media. But our second round draft pick, Sam Williams, is looking like an A+ draft pick. Against the Detroit Lions, he nabbed 2 sacks. Both changed the complexion of the game against Detroit. Unfortunately, he has not had a lot of action because of the depth that we have on defense. But Dan Quinn is really high up on this guy. Our defensive coordinator is really high on Jalen Tolbert. And here's a quote from Dan Quinn. He's got the strength. He can play violently, So when I see them together, sometimes Sam reminds me, of that kind of style, of Tank Lawrence. And I'm paraphrasing. Sam is an excellent example of one of our young players playing big today. Very proud of Sam. He had some learning experience early in the year, and I think the last 2 weeks he's flashed big time with his opportunities. Unquote. Well, while we have some really significant ballers on defense, we will struggle stopping the run, and we continue to do that. And I posted and made a comment about that in my last video. Season in, season out, for the last 20-some years, we just can't stop the run. No matter what defensive coordinator that we have. In the regular season, we know there's a run problem. But if we have made the postseason, we want to put the blame on the quarterback, and sometimes the blame is warranted. But, we have to understand our defense have to prevent teams from scoring, especially when there's a money drive. And when I say money drive, I'm referring to when we need a 3 and out. We need to get our offense back on the field, to either expand the league, or maybe reobtain the league. We did make a trade last week, 2 weeks ago, and we got for defense Jonathan Hankins. I don't know really much about Hankins. We didn't see much of him in the Chicago Bears game, but coming out of the bye, I expect our run defense to really improve with having him as an acquisition. I mean, just to be a run stopper, he's 6'3", 340 pounds. That's a big dude, right? So I expect, with some more practice time coming out of the bye, I see that defense. I'm hoping that the defense gets better this time. Okay, and we've been hoping for a while. So we're not looking for him to start. We're looking for him to just add on to our depth. Side note, right quick. It is reported that a sidebar. Tyron Smith is about 3 to 4 weeks away from practice. That's pretty good. As I close, we got the Eagles tonight. Not we, but the Eagles are playing on TV tonight. Tell me when you think Eagles are going to take their first loss, because I don't think it's going to be tonight. You think they're going to have an L before they get to the Cowboys? What do you think the overall record is going to be? Our overall record is going to be. As I close, I'm asking you guys. Please like. If you're watching the video, please hit the like. Please just don't watch the video. Just hit the like for me. Show the brothers some love. Show me some support. I appreciate it. I really do. Share the video with a relative, with a friend, with another football fanatic. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the Cowboys, a Super Bowl ready team right today. It looks like from the so-called experts and the talking heads, they believe the Cowboys are Super Bowl ready right today. And we should only get better, and I think we got to buy at the right time of the season. So, again, hit the like for me, share, subscribe, and please comment. Help the channel grow. Peace. 2 fingers.